Hi everyone, welcome to the Minnesota Hemp Growers Cooperative stage. My name is Marin. I am the Coalition Director for the MN is Ready Coalition. We are a coalition of advocacy organizations and members of the industry working to legalize the adult use of cannabis. I have Representative Luke Frederick, right? Yeah, not losing my mind. With me today, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi folks, my name is Luke Frederick. I'm the state representative from down in Mankato. Excited to be here on such a gorgeous day.
It is so nice out. So much better than last Saturday. So the first question is, why do you think Minnesota is ready for full legalization?
I think that Minnesota's been ready. It's not that they're just ready now or something like that. I think they've been ready for a really long time. In the Minnesota House this last year, or this last biennium, we saw the most progress in legalization that we have ever seen as a state. I'm hoping to build on that in the future legislative session and make it fully legal, because I think that's what Minnesotans want. We saw this become a bipartisan issue where we saw votes on both sides of the aisle. It was primarily the House DFLers that were really carrying the torch, but we did see legislators on both sides come together and vote for legalization because that's what they hear from their constituents. When I ran for the first time in 2020, I was asked, where do you stand on cannabis? And I would say, I'm for full legalization. They didn't even ask what party I was part of, and that's what they wanted to know about. And I said, I think it should be legal because a legal, regulated market is a safe market, and that is something that benefits everybody.
100% agree. What is the most important thing you think we should be considering when legalizing cannabis? Like, what is the top issue in the policy for you?
Well, it does a lot. The legislation that we passed this last year would expunge criminal records, giving a lot of people a new lease on life. It would focus on allowing Minnesotans to have their first opportunity to become business owners. We wanted to make sure that it was geared towards small businesses, people that maybe had never thought of running a business before, and we wanted to give them a new opportunity. And we don't want some big corporation coming in and controlling the whole cannabis market across the state. We really want this to be an opportunity for economic growth for Minnesotans. In addition to that, some of where the money that came from this was going towards education, it was going towards mental health. I think that it does a lot of good. Plus, again, I said it once, I'm going to say it again, a regulated market is a safe market. You can go into any high school, and every high schooler there is going to tell you where they can get cannabis at. And we might as well make it safe for everyone. Obviously, we want people of the legislation that we introduced was for 18 years plus. But we want to make sure what is out there is to be as safe as possible and not laced with mystery things that people don't know what they're getting.
100%. And I mean, I'm going to throw this out there because we're at the Hemp Growers Cooperative. If you're buying edibles out in the street, make sure they come with a certificate of analysis that they have been tested for contaminants and residual solvents. I just had to throw that in.
Can I just put in too that
Yeah.
I was excited to vote for that too, and I knew what I was voting for at the time.
I worked on it, and most people knew what they were voting for. Next question is, some of the very red states, including a couple neighboring states, have legalized cannabis or at least done better with their cannabis laws than Minnesota has. Why is it that we can't get it done here, and what kind of hurdles are there to getting this across the finish line?
I think in Minnesota, the biggest challenge for legalization of cannabis comes down to political polarization. While I said it was a bipartisan vote because there were Democrats and Republicans that voted for legalization, on the Republican side, what you saw was it was the younger Republicans. It was the under 40 Republicans. And so I think what we're going to need is a generational change. I think there needs to be continued advocacy because right now, while we as a House passed this legislation, it didn't get anywhere in the Senate. And I think that's the biggest hurdle right now. And so with the election season coming up, I think there's a lot of good candidates. And if this is an issue for voters, I think that they should definitely see where their candidates lie and vote for candidates who represent their values.
Yeah, and I would throw out, I get asked often, why we can't just put it on the ballot. And I'll answer the question and not make you answer it. We don't have ballot initiatives in Minnesota. If you want a question on the ballot, it has to go through the legislature. So there's what Luke said too, those hurdles are going to remain no matter how we do it. The next question is, why do you personally support full legalization?
I think that we've been trying to criminalize this stuff for a long, long time, and it doesn't work, and I don't think it should have been done in the first place. And so this is overdue, and it is something that I will continue to support. I think making something illegal and then just throwing people in our criminal justice system is ridiculous. And so we can legalize this, we can regulate the market, we can have a safe market. I feel like I'm on repeat, but like that is the message, right? Like seriously. And that's why it needs to get done. I'm tired of seeing and knowing people who have gotten in trouble for this, and it just needs to come to an end.
What are you hearing from the voters down in Mankato about cannabis and cannabis legalization?
They're supportive. I mean, some people are on the fence about it. They're concerned. They don't necessarily know a lot about it. But I've had people come forward and come to my office in St. Paul and ask about it. They hear that this is something that we're working on, and they're just not sure about it. So I talk about everything that is part of the bill. That the taxation that comes from it is going to go towards education. It's going to go towards mental health care. And a lot of the good restorative justice practices that we put in the bill. And after I talk about every piece, they're all like, no, I like that. Oh, mental health? Oh, I like that too. And so at the end of it, sometimes I ask, so where do you stand now? And they're like, oh, I'm still not sure. But I'm like, we went through everything line by line, and you liked everything that was in the bill. Hopefully, you can see then supporting the whole bill would be a good thing. And so that's, the people that aren't just full on board supportive of it, they just generally have questions about it, and I'm happy to talk about it.
Love it. Final question. How can cannabis legalization supporters help to legalize cannabis?
I think the power of everyone's voice is incredibly important, and sometimes people don't think that their voice is powerful. So whether it is cannabis or literally any issue, it doesn't matter what the issue is. People need to let their legislative leaders know how they feel about any issue, whatever it is. And there's certainly people that are vocal about education, about mental health, about taxes. I mean, you want to get people fired up, you can talk about taxes. But when it comes to the cannabis stuff, like if you care about it one way or the other, you need to be reaching out to whoever your elected officials are and let them know how you feel. And so, that's probably the biggest piece, is just to be vocal, be active. If you support a candidate, volunteer for their campaign. You can make donations to whoever their candidates are. And sometimes that donation is just time. I get that the economy can be hard, and so sometimes all what people have is time. But whether it's door knocking or making phone calls or just showing up to a rally, it can be really impactful. And so I would say the more people can get involved, the better off it's going to be.
Awesome, thank you. And I will add something you can do today is go see Joan or Eric over there. Pledge to vote with the Men is Ready Coalition, and you will get a button. Thank you again. My name is Maren Schroeder with the Men is Ready Coalition. Thank you to the Minnesota Hemp Growers Cooperative and to Luke for joining today. We will be back probably pretty soon with another candidate. Thank you.
Thank you.